Hey, what up guys? How you doing? Happy Sunday. Welcome to Random Pick Day. Hopefully it's going to be a very fun episode with a decent team. That is always the aim. If you do enjoy today's episode, make sure you smash a thumbs up on it. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you guys are new around here. So I've gone with the 70 to 90k special items with a 60k minimum price or a 70k minimum price, something like that, to try and make sure that we get some players that are at least like around that 30k or above mark. So Vieira is the first player I choose right now. Now actually when I saw that I always had in my head that he was around like a 60-70k player, but actually when I went to buy him he was like near or just under 40. So you get quite a good value for money straight off the bat for an 89 rated La Liga TOTS right there. On page number 8, I saw a TOTS that I've been wanting to use for a very long time. Is Cuerdo. Oh god, we're going to call him Izzy for the rest of the episode because that's the only way I can pronounce his name. But he's got 99 pace, 90 dribbling, so he should be a bit of a beast. And then on page number 10, I spot a TOTS again, another one that I sort of wanted to use. I nearly went with the 88 Thiago, who is next to Moreno, the guy that we've actually chosen, but in the end decided to go for the Mexican because his stats look really well rounded for a centre-back, and I figured he might be a bit of a beast. And we've been toying with the idea for a while now of maybe picking him up on the road to glory, but again I think his links and stuff are a little bit too expensive for our tastes on that account. So, as always, I choose a formation, and today I've gone with the 4-3-2-1. The squad, well, the three players are going to play in these positions here. So, left centre-back for Moreno, right centre-mid for Jonathan Vieira, and then left forward for Izzy. 87 rated, man, with crazy pace. I think he's going to be a decent player. But, of course, all of these TOTS this year are incredibly high rated. So, even though they started at lower rated cards, they've got ridiculous versions now. So the rest of the team looks like this, and in goal we've got Hugo Lloris, who is not the, not the tallest of goalkeepers. He's normally someone which doesn't seem to fill the goal for me, and then he lets in long shots all the time. Left back and right back we've got TOTS, Haps and SBC Bellerin, who are two very quick players. And then in the other centre-back spot before our first random pick player, we've got Koscielny, 85 rated and a very decent player as always. Moreno then is our first random pick player today. He's 89 rated and he plays for PSV in the Eredivisie. He's got 75 pace and 80 dribbling for a centre-back is really good, as well as his awesome defending and physical stats. And then we move on to our midfield, which once I'd built the team, I realised is super tiny and really short, and it might not be the best idea to use three players like this. But in the end, I've used what is his name? Valderrama. I don't know if his first name's Carlos. Completely forgotten, actually. But we've used that legend to help give chemistry links to everyone. I'm sure there's another player that you could use to fill that gap, but I like to use legends wherever possible, and I found that he was a cheap one. Maybe we'll try him out today. So Jonathan Vieira, being our second team of the season or random pick player, has actually got some really good stats for one of the community TOTS players. And then we have Izzy, 87 rated with 99 pace, 91 dribbling and 90 shooting. Ever since I saw that card, I really wanted to use it, and today is going to be the chance for us to do that. He's only 5'7" as well, so actually a lot of the players in this team are a little bit short, which could be an issue going into some games and stuff, of course, because physical and height and strength is actually a very important thing in the game. Now, the team will start like this, and I figured maybe we'd switch things up in game a little bit to maybe make the most out of certain players. And this is how I feel like sometimes I would play it like we started, and then sometimes in game I'll switch it to this. So Guardado can be in that CDM spot. I think he'll do a good job there. Valderrama and Vieira at CM. Sometimes James and Vieira might switch, so Vieira's at Cam. And then Iñaki Williams and Izzy. He's going to be up front because he's got that much pace. Figured he could probably do a good job there. So moving on into the clips, we dink one. We hit a little Panenka with Guardado as my penalty, which I don't do that often, but I was up against someone who, I don't know, was playing really cocky and stuff. So when I got a penalty, you know, when you do a Panenka or something, you can either come off looking really stupid or you can come away with a little bit of pride. And we obviously did that right there. But I was playing some god-awful FIFA in this session. to the point where, like, my players just felt so different. Like, it was almost like they would auto shield or auto not sprint, and the buttons just felt weird. It was almost like there was a button auto pressed in on my controller, and I thought my controller was broken. I was playing that bad, but I don't know if it was, and I think I was just having a really, really dodgy session. So it wasn't going well, and it took me more games than I would normally play to get the goals required for this team, and that's definitely something that you guys need to know if you were thinking about building a squad like this. With the way I was playing so terribly, it just left so many gaps, and I think some of that was to do with the size of the players that I was using. They are a little bit short. In midfield, you've got 3 very, very small players, which means I don't know if they just don't cover ground so well or what it is, but the taller, stronger players on this game really make your midfield a lot sturdier, and I had so many gaps in that midfield, which led to gaps in the defence because I was pulling out a centre-back here and there, and you guys know by now that I'm a pretty terrible defender on this game. It wasn't good, and I was leaking goals all over the place. In some of the games I was playing, I was able to catch up to my opponent or even outscore my opponent to get the victory and stuff, but it was a struggle. It really was. This session of FIFA tested me more than any other I've played for a very, very long time. And I don't even think the quality of the goals are really that high. A lot of the time it was just utilise Izzy for his pace and then, well, stick it across goal and hope someone's there to tap it in. But overall, I was actually disappointed with this 99 pace guy, because I was actually thinking, well, considering I saw that he had 90 shooting, I was hoping for someone superb, like a next level player with that crazy pace, awesome dribbling, and fantastic shooting. I was hoping for someone that would be literally god tier, and I was so disappointed. Again, probably all to do with the terrible play style, just me being so awful at this game. But for some reason, something wasn't working. I think this is the only goal that I got with him, which, to be fair, was in the 118th minute of a really tough game where it was 0-0 against some guy with a really stacked Prem team. But eventually, I did manage to score the goal in the 118th. And I resisted the urge to run off Shush in there. Sometimes I would, but today was not that day. I did against a couple of other opponents, but pretty much only if they shush me first. So rating the team then, Lloris was pretty abysmal, I have to say. I was relying on him to save my shots because my defence was so bad. Or not the defenders were bad, I can't say that they were bad. Bellerin's great. Haps is actually incredibly fun to use. The Dutch left back, definitely rate him a lot. But Koscielny was out of position a lot, and Moreno was probably a little bit short. Like, he didn't feel too tall, and especially with the players in front of him being short, it was a struggle. Like, 6 foot tall for a defender, I don't think is that bad, but actually it's sometimes you need a really tall centre back alongside someone like that, and Koscielny isn't that tall. I think he's like 6'1" or something, so not the tallest of centre back duos, which again didn't help us. I conceded a few headed goals and stuff. And then moving on to the midfield, I didn't like Valderrama. Previously, I've actually liked him. I know his stats are terrible for a legend, but previously I've liked him. I didn't this time, but I really liked Guardado. Hard-working player, 80 plus club, and a very decent and fun player to use. And then Jonathan Vieira was very good in certain matches, pretty poor in others, and then sort of just average across the board for the majority of it. But he's going to get an above average rating because there was a couple of games there where he really show his true colours, and I thought he was actually he's going to stay in my club, that's for sure. For the price and the rating that you get there, he's going to stay in the club because I think he deserves a spot in my La Liga team. Iñaki Williams is a breath of fresh air in this team. For an 80 rated player, he definitely outperforms that. And then James Rodriguez, again, sometimes, but he sort of blows hot and cold, really. But Izquierdo, God, I hate pronouncing that name. 2-star, value for money, 5 out of 10. Probably the lowest rating I've ever given anyone on the random pick, just because I was expecting so much more, and he just didn't provide enough of what I was expecting and hoping for. So he was really underwhelming, and probably that's definitely the reason why he's got that lower rating from me overall. So definitely not the most successful of random pick sessions for me today. Sometimes I breeze through 4 games with an amazing team. It all goes so super well, and I give everyone solid ratings and stuff, and then sometimes it just goes horribly wrong, and the team I play with is just too short and I should have done something different. Let me know, guys, if you could salvage that team. Is there a midfielder that you could replace? Not one of my random pick players, but is there someone in that team that you could replace to help give it that boost in like height and strength that we need so much to make it a lot more playable? You could tweet me some squads at La5ty La5ty on Twitter, of course. Don't forget to smash a like on this video if you have enjoyed. Sub to the channel if you're new. Have a great day and I'll catch you next time. Peace.